Hello, beautiful and fabulous people. Welcome to Sassy's World. This is Sassy, your host. Great to see you again. So, okay, I am now 2 weeks post-op, and I am feeling so much better. Okay, those first 2 weeks, don't let anybody fool you. Those first 2 weeks are rough. Okay, especially the first week. So, little recap. My last video we did was right before surgery, and I was really pumped and very excited. I went in the next morning, got my IV in, checked in, waited for everything to go, and then I got rolled back into a big room with a bunch of gizmos and bright lights. At some point I heard somebody say, okay, great, we got about a minute before she goes out. And then somebody came over me and started talking to me, and the next thing I knew, I was waking up in extreme pain and nausea. So I don't know if you've heard this, but I heard a lot of times on my support groups that this surgery is no worse than a C-section. And now I've had 2 C-sections, and this was nothing like a C-section for me. I woke up, and I guess maybe the biggest difference is that I was awake through both of my C-sections, and I also, in one, I had an epidural, and in the other, I had a spinal block, and this had neither. I woke up in so much pain. Oh my god, what did I do? And I think I'm gonna vomit all over everybody. Ow! So that definitely was not a pleasant way to wake up, and I ended up having to stay in recovery a little while until they got all of that under control, and they just pumped more stuff into my IV. And then I was able to go back to my room and get some rest, saw some visitors and things like that. And then all the while, I'm kind of sitting there going, oh my god, this hurts! It's gonna hurt like this. This hurts. Not to scare you off or anything, because, you know, it's still, I don't regret it in any way. I just didn't realize how much it was really going to hurt. And I think had I been a little bit more prepared, even though I've done so much research, I still was not prepared for the amount of pain that I was going to feel. So I'm telling you so that at least you will be prepared. And if you have a better experience than I did, then woohoo! Great. Because there's people that I've seen who had surgery the same week I have who didn't have nearly the pain that I've had. And then there's others who had a little bit worse pain than I had. And I at least got up every day. I walked. Other people I know weren't able to walk as much just because they couldn't handle it. Their pain was too severe. So just be prepared. There is pain. And you might not be one of the lucky ones, like I was not one of the lucky ones. Day 2, they tried weaning me off of some of my pain meds, and because I was supposed to be released on the 3rd day. And what ended up happening was that my BP, started to bottom out. And I was at a 86 over 43. So it got kind of low, and they started to get worried. So I had to hold back a little bit on going for walks and things like that, which kind of delayed my progress. And I ended up having to stay an extra day just because I really was not bouncing back as quickly as I had hoped. And another thing to realize is that also within that time, I gained 20 pounds. 20. Another thing is my outputs weren't working very well. So in order to get your outputs to work, what they do is they start to pump you full of more fluid so that your body starts kickstarting and it has to start flushing. So what ended up happening was, through all of this, when you have a bunch of stuff go in and nothing going out, is you retain lots of fluid. So the next thing I know it, my legs look like they want to pop. So like the slightest touch or scratch would just make them rip open, and I could see my whole inside. I was kind of afraid of that, but it didn't really happen. So, but really, I mean, honestly, like 20 pounds in 2 days. Nobody told me I was going to gain 20 pounds in 2 days. I mean, what the heck? That just was awful. Okay, so I went into the doctor, and I was 245. By Wednesday, I was 265. 265, okay? 20 whole pounds, of which I finally got rid of yesterday. Okay, so it took 2 weeks to lose the 20 pounds that I put on in 2 days. Meanwhile, most people that I have seen on my support groups and stuff like that did not gain that weight, and they are already, and they were mostly within 5 pounds of me or so, and they are already down in their 230s, low 230s. So it was a little frustrating. It made me sad. But, you know, at the end of the day, I got through it, finally lost it, and now I can actually focus on actually losing weight 2 weeks in. Yay! So then I came home, and I forgot my number one rule. Water, 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 water. Water. So I started drinking the broth, and having the popsicles, and having the jello, and having my protein water. My protein mixed with Powerade. Oh my god, that made it so yummy. So great. Half a bottle of New Way plus the rest of the bottle inside of a sippy cup. 2 sippy cups of fluid, and I had my protein bowl for the day. It was great. And then I would try to sip on water here and there, but I was only getting about 20 ounces of water at first, plus the 2 sippy cups and some broth and some jello and stuff like that. But I was still retaining all of this fluid, and I couldn't get rid of it, and I couldn't really figure out why. And so I ended up cutting back on the amount of broth I was having, cutting back on the amount of Powerade I was having, and really focused on my water. And since I've done that, it's been a lot better, because I'm still drinking some of those other things, but I'm really pushing myself to get 32 to 40. I'm trying to work up to 64. It's so hard, but I'm working on it. Your tummy, I don't know. I used to get these hiccups every time I got full, and then it would hurt. So I've tried to stay like just under that level of where I start to kind of feel full, and then I stop drinking for like 15 minutes, and then I keep going. You really find a lot of ways to work around your stomach and figure out what it likes and what it doesn't like. And Sleva is a diva, and she likes what she likes, and she only likes it when she likes it, and she really just wants you to take it easy. Not too much too fast. Today I got to have my first Premier protein shake after Clear Liquids after 2 weeks, and oh my god, I loved it. I loved it. It was really great to just have something different. Now I can only finish a quarter of a container where I used to down a whole one pretty fast. It's an adjustment. It's really an adjustment, and that's really the thing is, you know, I'm sharing with you my journey because it's not all roses and sunshine, and the first 2 weeks really suck. Okay, you're in pain, you can't move, you can't bend down, you know, you feel like you got hit by a Mack truck in your gut, literally. And you know, it takes a long time to recover from that. It really does. And you have to just kind of push through, and you have to keep walking. I feel better when I walk. If I miss some time walking, I start feeling different pains creep back in. So it's really, really, really important to push yourself and continue to walk after surgery, and continue to get those gas bubbles out, and continue to really just kind of push through and push yourself. And you know, you can do that. You can do it. But really, like, you can totally do those kinds of things. And you know, this one is probably one of my more serious ones, because I want you all to know that first 2 weeks just isn't fun. And just be prepared. Be prepared. Know that it'll be okay. You know, it'll be okay. Just like when you cut yourself or whatever. Those first few days suck, and it's irritating, and you catch it on everything, and you know, but after that it gets a lot better. And you know, I'm 2 weeks out, and I'm finally feeling a little bit normal. I went on a walk this morning, and it was like 2 minutes faster than I did just 3 days ago for the same distance. And that's, you know, you will see those steady improvements as long as you continue to work at it. Again, you know, this goes back to the progress, not perfection. Keep getting one step in front of the other, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You know, just as long as you're only taking 1 step back and you continue to push forward, you will get better. It will get better. Another thing I really want you to consider is your family. Family, you know, mine was very, very supportive. I let everybody know, everybody was aware, and my family was very super, super supportive. They also feel the same kind of pains that you do. when you're going through this period, especially after surgery where you can't eat. You know, they're going through the whole, should I eat in front of you? Should I not eat in front of you? Am I being rude? Is that really, oh, can you handle this? And then of course there's Halloween right in the middle of it all, and there's chocolate and candy everywhere, and I just want to, but I can't, and I didn't. And I was very proud of myself and woke up the next morning losing the last 5 pounds that I needed. So I was very happy about that. But understand, your family is going through these kinds of withdrawals too. They don't understand or may not know how to react to what you're going through. And if you're like me, I was always the, you know, sister or the aunt that was making pancakes for the whole family or cooking for the whole family, or, you know, that was one of the things that I really loved to do, is come have Italian night at my house, or come have this, or come have that. And I just love to cook for everybody. Well, I'm a little restricted, especially in these first 6 weeks. It's not the same, and you're not the only one that's going through those withdrawals. Your family is feeling that too, because if that's one of the ways that they associate with you, you know, they're going to feel that loss as well. And that's something that I don't think that I anticipated as much, even with all my research. So just as a FYI, you know, and know that I personally tell my family, I'm like, look, you did not make this choice. This was a choice that I made. This is something that I needed to do for myself to get healthy. And you go ahead and eat. You have to eat. You know, just because I can't eat doesn't mean that you shouldn't, you know. And coming out of this addiction, we have to recognize that our family still does need to eat, and they may not need to have the same restrictions that we do, and that does not make them bad, and it does not make them mean, but you can't expect them to make all the changes that you're making because you are on this journey. This is your health journey. It's not everybody has to come with you. There's no entourages, okay? You have people watching you from the sidelines, people that were there with you in the start, but you're the only one that has to take this journey by yourself, and you have to take control of your actions and of your emotions, and you have to allow them to do what they're going to do. And if you inspire them through your great work, then fabulous. But nagging them or getting mad because they're eating in front of you is like, how is that fair? I mean, it's not like they're doing drugs in front of you, or smoking, or doing something, you know, some other kind of addictive substance that you are trying to get off of. No, I mean, you know, to live, you have to eat. So to try to have them not eat in front of you or something like that, it's unreasonable in some regards. So, sorry, I didn't mean it. I love you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but this is just something that I've seen over and over and over again. And you know, it helped me to get into this mindset and understanding that they have to eat too, and it's okay to eat in front of me. My struggles are my own. And when it got too tough for me on Halloween, I left. I unfortunately, you know, that's just what had to happen. I couldn't handle, I went to this birthday party. It was so amazing, fabulous. They had a skull made of bacon and a cool popcorn and all this other stuff. They had, Reese's peanut butter cups. I just wanted it all, but I did really good for about an hour and a half, and then we had to go because that was about all I could take. But I didn't cheat. Yay! And I woke up the next morning with a 5-pound loss and losing the last of my 20 pounds. So yesterday I finally, I don't know if you want to call it broke, but because I didn't really break, I went and got some different kind of clear liquid. I went to my favorite Asian buffet, and I walked in and I asked for a to-go container of hot and sour soup. I survived walking into my buffet, and I realized kind of walking in there that my relationship with buffets have changed forever. I will never again be able to walk into a buffet and stuff my face full of every kind of goodness that they have there, wait 15 minutes and keep going. It's not going to work like that anymore. You know, now I can probably go and have a bite of one thing, a bite of two things. But luckily, my favorite buffet allows us to buy by the pound. So I figure if I ever decide to go, I can just get one of those and have like 2 or 3 meals out of it. The things we do for kitties. But anyway, got my soup, came home, and put it in a saucepan with some low sodium chicken broth to thin it out, after straining it, of course, because I can't eat all the stuff in it. But I thinned it to a nice consistency, made sure it was see-through, and then I sipped on it for a good hour. I reheated it once or twice so that it was still warm, and I just sat there and I sipped on it, and it was so... There was a couple points where I could only drink so fast because my little belly can only hold so much. It's so little. It's so little. It only holds like 2 ounces. She felt a little like indigestion-y last night after that, so I'm probably gonna wait a couple of days before I try it again. And today I'm starting on my creamed stuff. So I got my Premier Protein, like I said earlier, which was so good. Compared to Clear Liquid, it was amazing today. I'm so happy that those 2 weeks of Clear Liquid are over. So, quick recap. First 2 weeks hurt, but you will eventually feel better. Don't feel bad if it does hurt. Secondly, don't be too afraid if you gain some weight in the hospital. I gained 20, finally lost the 20, so 2 weeks later I have a 0 net gain. But at least I can finally start to lose the rest of the weight and can move forward fresh from here. I guess I just need to be positive about the fact that I actually have lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks, so I just need to focus on the positive instead of worrying about the negative, because if I lose more weight this month, that means I've lost more than 20 pounds this month, and that's just flippin' phenomenal. So I'll take it, even though I had to get put back 20 to lose the 20, so it's okay. So I think that's about it for today. Check me out on Facebook, Pinterest, or check out my first video, Intro to Sassy's World, or my second video, I lost 50 pounds pre-op. Woo! Okay, beautiful and fabulous people, it's been great having you here. Thanks for joining me for my latest 2-week update, and I will see you again soon. Have a blessed day. I wasn't as funny this time. I don't think I was. See you. What are you talking about?